What's up and welcome back. Today we have a ton to talk about as PlayStation revealed that they officially acquired BluePoint. We're going to discuss what possible games they could be working on based on some tweets from an analyst, as well as going over some job postings that we've looked at in the past with BluePoint that tells the story a little bit better. We are also going to be talking about what happened with God of War Ragnarok, why it got delayed, and we're going to be talking about Twisted Metal and who could be working on it, and is this a free-to-play game or is this a premium game? Now let's get started with this BluePoint acquisition. This was confirmed today. It's not a surprise to anybody. This was accidentally revealed back when they announced Housemarque's acquisition, so it was kind of expected that this was going to happen. This is not a surprise in any way, shape, or form, at least not for me and not for most people. But there is some important information here. Sony confirmed Demon's Souls has sold more than 1.4 million copies since its release. That's a big thing. But other than that, they've also done an interview with IGN, and they talk about what their plans are. So, in quotes, Marco Thrush says, "Our next project, we're working on our original content right now. We can't talk about what that is, but that's the next step in the evolution for us," Thrush said, noting that even with remakes like Shadow and Souls, the studio was already partially creating original content. He explained how really the growth of the studio, both in the literal number of employees as well as types of projects, naturally leads to this next step, especially given the team's pedigree. There's a long interview here and it's a lot of good information, but that's the biggest thing here in terms of what their next project is. So we get a little bit of insight from @Millie Amand, and they have some things to say. And according to Reddit, which is, depending on how you take it, how credible that is, they say that this account might be an actual insider, as she got Wolverine right, the PS event date since August, and even since July, she said it was September. So creating some sort of credibility by getting things accurately when leaking, we'll say. But still, you know, take it as you will. But essentially, she says, BluePoint, who are an official PlayStation studio as of yesterday, have 2 projects in development: an original game that is a similar size to Insomniac's Miles Morales, and 2 remake of a beloved game. Important to note here, guys, we've talked about these job postings in the past in previous videos. You can look them up. We looked at them. One of them said remaking assets. We knew that there was a remake happening soon of a game, that they were working on it. We didn't know what it was. There was speculation of Metal Gear Solid. We actually don't know that that's the case. In fact, Millie says that 100% it's not Metal Gear Solid, so there's that as well. If she's credible in that way and you really believe what she's saying, then that could be something that you take. The second thing is they did mention a original IP as well, or a new IP, and I believe that that's actually happening. I believe that we are going to be getting 2 titles from them, one being a remake and another one being an original game. So these actually line up. And we've already talked about this. This was discussed earlier in the year, way earlier in the year, as the job postings were coming out. So this isn't exactly new news to me, but a reassurance and kind of re-hitting it home that, first of all, they're saying that they're working on a new project, an original project already to IGN. And then on top of that, you know, seeing these job postings, they tell a greater story when we have no information at hand as well. So they definitely seem like they're working on 2 projects. What they are, we don't know, but we do know that one's a remake, one's an original game. Now, next up, I want to talk to you guys about God of War Ragnarok. Why did it get delayed? Well, we got an answer right now. Cory Barlog took the blame. He said, "Hey, I'm the reason. I made the call." Turns out Christopher Judge came out and tweeted today that the reason Ragnarok was delayed from a 2021 release to next year is because he was injured and unable to play the role of Kratos again. In quotes from his tweet, "I need to be forthcoming. This has been approved by no one," Judge said. "To the beloved fandom, Ragnarok was delayed because of me. August 2019, I couldn't walk, had to have back surgery, both hips replaced, and knee surgery. They waited for me to rehab. No threats, no who do you think you are, nothing but love and support, and Sony Santa Monica has never said a word about the delay and what caused it. Studios are assholes, but this company from top to bottom should give us hope. What they did for the crew is way more that I can't talk about. But I've said to all involved, it's the classiest thing that I've ever heard about in this business. Everyone involved in God of War franchise puts their hearts and souls in every frame you see. I want to thank everyone that has allowed me to play and laugh and love and cry without judgment, but with unconditional support and love in this thing of all of ours." So here's the thing, right? This is something that has come by surprise. I didn't expect this. And delays happen. I just assumed, hey, you know, a delay happened. They needed more time, but it looks like Christopher Judge says that he's the reason. Now, here's the thing. That's a lot of surgeries to have. That's a lot of surgeries to have. The recovery time on these is a long time as well. Rehabilitation, everything, it's going to take a long time. It makes sense that he needs to focus on himself. And I think it's amazing that Sony Santa Monica and Sony and PlayStation, everybody was so supportive and said, hey, you know what? We're not going to just go ahead and make this game and finish it without you. We want you to be a part of this. And I think it's so heartwarming and it's amazing to see that, because obviously this matters, right? Like, this tells a bigger story of, hey, what kind of environment do these guys work in and these girls work in? And it's clear that this is the environment. It's a positive environment. It's support from the studios, from Sony, from everybody around, and it's nice to see that. It genuinely is. And I think nobody should be giving Christopher Judge or Sony Santa Monica a hard time for the delay. You know, people have real lives, people have real issues that they need to work out, and if a project gets pushed, it gets pushed. And to me personally, it's not that big a deal. What's more important is these people are healthy and safe. Now, lastly, I want to talk to you guys about Twisted Metal. This comes from VGC, saying PlayStation has handed its Twisted Metal series revival to Destruction All-Stars developer Lucid Games, sources have told VGC. One person with knowledge of Lucid's plans suggested that the revival would be built around a free-to-play model, partly in response to Destruction All-Stars' last-minute transition from a premium game to a PlayStation Plus title. The release is planned to coincide with an upcoming TV series in 2023, we were told. So, this tells us what? If this is true, VGC quite good with these reports lately. Of course, they've been really good this year and last year, but this tells us that Twisted Metal TV series drop in 2023. We got a game possibly dropping in 2023. It's going to be free to play, and it's going to be made by Lucid. And in my opinion, Destruction All-Stars wasn't necessarily a bad game. If it's free to play, it's fine, but when they were thinking of charging such a large price, like, in my opinion, it was very expensive for what it was offering. I thought that was a little bit much, but they ended up giving it away for free on PlayStation Plus. Now, if Twisted Metal goes the same route, I feel like they could probably more likely get away with charging for that anyway, but if they decide free to play, they'll get a lot more players, and I'm sure they can monetize it in other ways. Nonetheless, I'm interested to see what happens here. I think Twisted Metal coming back would be great, especially if they're going to do a TV series as well. I mean, it'd line up pretty well. It'll be interesting nonetheless. I really am looking forward to seeing what they do with it. But that's all I have for you guys in today's video. I would love to hear from you. What do you guys think of all this news? You know, BluePoint being acquired, what they could be working on. Do you believe this analyst is truly correct in what they're saying? Or do you think that it's a lucky guess? Let me know. How do you feel about Kratos' his character saying he's the reason for the delay? I would hope nobody is upset about that, because it's like, you know, health before everything else. And lastly, how do you feel about Lucid doing Twisted Metal? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description. And share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.